I think I just started with mute, which wasn't a good start. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our latest Edible Garden Odyssey and our opportunity to launch the Community Gardens Australia new website. We've got a fantastic tour planned for you today. We're starting up in Darwin. We're going to go to the Gold Coast, and then finally we're going to end up in WA. We're giving the WA folk a little bit of leeway because with daylight savings kicking off, I hope most of you changed your clocks back. I started to panic a bit because I looked at the stove and I was like, oh, which clock is right? Is it 8 o'clock or is it 9 o'clock? But anyway, fortunately my mobiles all do it automatically, so I was able to be here on time. We're giving the WA people a little bit of benefit because if they join us at 9:30-ish, that will be 6:30 a.m. their time. So they didn't really need to be here at 6 a.m. So we're going to travel the other parts of the country. I myself am coming to you from here in Sydney on Gadigal and Biddigal land of the Eora, and I acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. And I suppose I acknowledge the fact that Community Gardens Australia is all about connecting people with country, the land they're on and the community they're in. And it gives me great pleasure to be involved with the community and to be able to celebrate this day of their new website, which is an incredible resource. And our first guest today is Naomi Lacy, who's the president of Community Gardens Australia, and she's going to give us a little bit of a lowdown on the new website and what it can offer you as potential community gardeners who want to come in and start a garden, and equally those of you who are community gardeners and may not be part of the network. As you can imagine, together we're stronger. So let us know where you're coming in from. We've got Melanie from Pakenham down in Melbourne. Sue's joining us from Perth. You're up and early, Adam. Sue, good on you. Kim Scott's in Darwin. G'day, Rachel. Debbie Nelson's in Gawler. Wow, we've got a fantastic mix of people. Kyneton, DJ, down in good old Kyneton. How's the temperature down there? Paulie Calaby, we have a community garden. Let's have a look what Paulie's saying. We've got funding for it in its baby stage. This will be a great site for. Paulie, get on there. Get on there. It will really provide inspiration for you. I cannot get down to the Gold Coast. Is there a community garden on the north side as I live near Redcliffe? Yes. As Naomi will explain, you'll be able to jump on the website and find all the registered community gardens, so ones that are on the network. North side near Redcliffe. There's another good one near Cannon Hill too. I'm residing and stewarding my land in Darwin area of Sydney. Thanks, Planty Nitty. So if you can mention the country you're on as well, so people can get to know the country. We've got Tamsin from Ngunnawal country in Canberra. Wow, what a wrong land from Highton. G'day, Matthew. Rinny, it's in our Booty Peninsula in New South Wales. Booty's a beautiful part of the world. Kilmore, Marg Wilson, just starting up. Great to hear you got a garden going there. 14 degrees at Kyneton. Butcherla in Harvey Bay. Thanks, Sarah Jean. And Toby Sterling, good to see you on Yindinji in Gordonvale. All right, well, I'm going to bring Naomi in and welcome her to you all. Naomi, how are you?
Costa. I'm good. How are you?
It's great to see you. And what a wonderful day today to be finally launching the new website. I know it's been up and going, but you know, punctuation. I think punctuation is key. You know, good punctuation in language means you can communicate better, and that's really what the website's about.
It certainly is. It certainly is. And Costa, I'd just like to acknowledge I'm coming to you today up here in Darwin from Larrakia country, and certainly myself and everyone at Community Gardens Australia would like to pay their respects to elders past, present and emerging. This land has never been ceded. It's a really exciting day for us, Costa. We've worked long and hard to get this new website up and running and get these resources in a functional space so that people can access them. As you've mentioned already, there's obviously a couple of people out there looking for gardens that are close to them. One of the biggest things that we have available to the public on our website is our directory of community gardens all over Australia. So we've got around about 600 gardens currently listed there. We know there's a lot more out there. So if you know of a garden that's close to you that's not on our website, please jump online and add your listing. It doesn't cost you anything, and it only takes a few minutes to pop your details in there, and you can also be listed on our map. You can just put your suburb in or the name of a garden if you know what it is, and it'll beautifully zoom in on one of those fancy maps and show you exactly where to go. So that's one of the great things that we've got available on our website. But there's also a whole heap of other resources there too, Costa. We've got everything from checklists on how to start a garden to some more in-depth documentation. There's whole templates that you can use to help your planning experience, to help you ensure you set up your governance of your garden correctly, because a lot of gardens tend to incorporate and become their own association. There's lots of different ideas on how you can plan things like your organic or permaculture aspects of the gardens and designing. And there's heaps of information on different foods and fruits, veggies, where to grow them, what time of year to be planting, all of that sort of thing. So yeah, endless resources. There's lots of documents on rules that you could set up for your garden. And we're just working on now getting all the different incorporation documents. So we're just the links to websites where you can incorporate your association in each state. So huge amount of resources there for people to access. So we're really just wanting to let everybody know that it's there and to jump online and have a look around. Let us know if you think there's any bits and pieces we could add to the site as well. If there's something specifically you've been looking for as a community garden and it's not there, we'd love to know about it, because we'll do our best to get those extra resources online for you.
Wow. Look, it's fantastic. I mean, already we've got Mary Ann here saying, didn't know about this site. Thanks for sharing. Our garden at Willoughby is on Camaragal land. Like, it's so good that even people within the community garden world don't necessarily know about the site and what you've got on there is, I mean, all that governance stuff. It's important because a community garden is bringing people together, and if you want it to work, you want that knowledge that from people that have done it already.
Yeah, exactly, Costa. As you said, there's a lot of power in community and in networking together, and that's one of the things that Community Gardens Australia sort of really brings to the fore. It's an opportunity to network with other community gardens. And as you said then too, the governance side of things is really important. If you get that right from the get-go, you're going to have really good engagement with your local community and be able to see your garden go from strength to strength. So they're the types of resources we're trying to pop there online to really help people achieve the best that they can out of their gardens.
Yeah, that's it. Because I mean, people coming together, you want to be able to really bring the best out in the resources that a community has, and if it's all, if you've got that kind of basic structure from the start, I mean, I see the gardens that thrive in the ones that I've seen all around the country, and when community gardens get those years behind them, it's only because they've built them on a good foundation, and what the website's offering is this really good reinforcement to put in the foundations.
Exactly. And there's been some wonderful work done by a lot of different people around Australia over the years. There's a fantastic booklet that we've got a link to on the site, the Growing Communities Handbook, that was developed in South Australia. Really great resource for new startup gardens and for existing ones too. They've got some really good stuff with ongoing governance and that in there. We've got a fabulous there's as I mentioned before, a checklist for starting a garden, and then there's a template and a sort of a management plan that was done by our own Russ Grayson. That's a really good step-by-step guide into setting up a new garden. You know how wonderful Russ is. So yeah.
And I mean, this is what's really nice. I mean, the fact that for those of you that don't know, Russ Grayson and Fiona, I mean, they have done an incredible amount of work with community when it was called City Farms and Community Gardens Network, and you know that they did an amazing amount of work, and they're still a wonderful part of it, even though they've left Sydney and they're now living down in Tassie. And then, you know, the batons that they've handed over for you, and what you're taking to the next level. It's wonderful to know that, you know, that they're part of that reinforcement. They've been doing so much for so long.
Yeah, they're like the elder statesmen of the community gardening world, I reckon. They're fabulous, both of them. And this, I'll take this opportunity now. I was going to do it shortly, but Fiona is actually the one who has built this new website for us. So a huge shout out from all the team at Community Gardens Australia to the wonderful Fiona Campbell for this amazing website that we have now. So you'll see bits and pieces change on it over the coming few months, where I think a website's something you always want to tinker with and you want to keep trying to get it right. And we appreciate getting feedback from people. We've got a fantastic new membership system online there as well now. It makes it really easy for people to join up and support our work. So we also encourage everybody to jump on and join us as a member if you can. Together we are stronger. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But yeah, a big thank you to Fiona for all of her amazing work in putting this website together for us. We're all very
Roland. Yeah, she's just such a community powerhouse. You know, you'll for anyone that hasn't heard of her, you know that she's got her fingerprint in so many elements of community around the country through her work with Community Gardens Network. So that's great to know. I just wanted to mention here, Rinny Rowland, very important info. I'm on 3 committees for organisations, and you need this for continuity. That's so true, Rinny.
So true.
And I noticed, and Paulie, I mentioned that Paulie wants to take it to his, take the site to his next community meeting. So that's great, Paulie. This is really why we want to do this, to have a broadcast like this, to put it out there and let people know. And Naomi has been, Debbie Nelson says, Naomi's been an absolute treasure with helping me to get a community garden established in Gawler. Still early days. Thank you. Love your dedication, and this new site will be invaluable to us.
Yeah, good luck with it, Debbie. You're doing great things. Very
Isn't that unreal?
This garden start up. Yeah. Yep. I think Debbie's a real powerhouse as well.
Now we've got more people coming in. So Gavin Dobson has said Fiona's a legend. I will second that.
Totally agree there. Totally agree, Gavin.
We've got Annie Cason's coming all the way from North Carolina. So we've gone international. We've got where was it? Sending much love from Yanjibup in WA. Thanks, Gavin. And hello from Eastwood, Daniel Joshua Ross. G'day, Daniel. And I wanted to make a little call out to Spencer, who's here. Spencer from Save Sunrise Glossies. I can hear a curl in the background. That must be, is that one of yours, Naomi? Is it?
No, I don't think that's here. We've got, a lot of parrots in the background.
Yeah. Oh, well, good on you, Spencer. Thanks for joining us today, buddy. Now, Michael Gagliazzi. Yes, is Michael here? Is he? That's interesting. Now, Naomi, what do you want to do? Shall we bring in our first guest, or do you want to go for a walk? What do you feel?
I reckon why don't you cross to the Gold Coast there and see what's happening with Joan.
Yeah, all right. So our first, everyone, can everybody please buckle in Put your seatbelts on. Oxygen will fall from the ceiling. This is Captain Costa here. We're just taking off. This is a direct flight. It takes about 5 seconds to get from Darwin to the Gold Coast, where we are going to meet up with President of the Coombabah, and she will correct me on that because I got it slightly wrong. Coombabah Community Garden, Joan Norman. Now,
good morning.
Good morning, Joan. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's a beautiful morning here on the Gold Coast.
It's lovely to have you, and thanks for jumping in on our itinerary. It was a very clear landing. Unfortunately, I can only fly in like this at the moment.
Yeah, I know. But we make the best of what we got, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Joan, Coombabah Community Garden.
Correct.
How long's it been going?
We were established in 2011 here on the northern Gold Coast. And we're actually down the back of a school, which enables us to use a part of their land, which is very good of them. Yeah, so we've got 25 beds, all raised garden beds, and everybody shares in everything that comes out of the gardens on Sunday mornings.
Okay, so your model is one in, all in, and then one harvest for all, not private plots.
Exactly. We think it works better just in this area. And then that way everybody just gets a little bit of everything instead of just having one bed. You can have heaps and heaps of produce and all different things.
And was that a decision that you made early on, or did it
that
start?
Was made right at the beginning.
How many people were in the community or the committee to start with? What was your kind of what did you grow from?
We grew from absolutely nothing. There was nothing here. Everything had to be put in, like the fencing, the sheds, just everything. There was just a strip of grass, really. And from 2011, we've actually grown to a whole garden of 25 beds. We've got a shed, a greenhouse, compost bins, and a beautiful patio area where we always have coffee every Sunday morning after we've finished.
And what's been your major funding model? Is the land connected to council, or is what's the land that you're on?
Yeah, no, we could do Bunnings barbecues, 2 or 3 a year, and that keeps us going for the whole year because we don't spend a lot of money. We do a lot of volunteer planting, you get lots of volunteer plants coming up. And we just recycle a lot of stuff, We don't really spend a lot of money.
Yeah, fantastic. I got a comment here. You'll like this, Joan, from Adrian. Hello, I love the work that community gardens do. In many ways, it's much, much more than just growing plants.
Absolutely. It's a social thing, which is very important for lots of people, especially in these times.
Yeah, exactly. So can you and look, to everyone listening, if you've got any questions from Joan, rack them up and I'll throw them onto the chat here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Joan, do you want to take us for a bit of a wander and just give us a quick overview of the garden?
Yeah, let's see if I can work this camera. Hang on.
You smashed it out in the test run before we started. All over.
Here we go. So we're just starting up the top of the gardens. As you can see, there's a choco vine over there, lots of cabbages, broad beans, and we've got a beautiful lime tree just there, as you can see. I've got a herb garden there with Vietnamese mint, all mints. We've got all sorts of different herbs in there. I don't know if you can see there is the sun in the way.
No, it's okay. Wow, everything looks like it's on like steroids.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Limes and lemons and mandarins. That lime tree just there is probably about 9 months of the year we're getting limes off that.
Wow.
We're just walking down here. So got nasturtiums, tomatoes. You can see how far back the garden goes from here.
Yeah, it does.
There's
And
a
is
big
that
shed down the back there.
Is that bush? Is that a bushland corridor that you butt onto, or is that part of the school there?
That's a park. So the school backs onto a park. So it's absolutely beautiful and quiet here. You come here and you just feel so relaxed. So just walk down here just a little bit. So you can see kale over there, beans, tomatoes just pop up everywhere. We hardly ever plant tomatoes. Passion fruit just there. Got dragon fruit over on the fence.
Oh, wow.
Elderflowers growing there. Am I going slow enough for you?
Yeah, just that pace is working nicely.
Good. Lots of turnips and carrots and kale. Garlic's over there is just ready to be harvested pretty soon, I think. Got a bit of garlic. Got carrots and things over there. Some more. A fig tree just over down there you can see on the horizon.
Tell us a little bit about those structures you've got. Is that electrical conduit that you then throw the
just throw the wire over the top of it.
Exclusion netting?
Yeah. And then you can pick it up and just move it around because it's just into slots in the garden.
So can you go in close and show us how it's attached to the garden bed?
Yeah. So can you see here? And so that just pulls out. You can see it.
Oh, I see. So you've got a dowel in the ground of pipe, and then you just hook it over the top.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty simple, and it's not permanent, so you can just change it around to whatever bed that you want.
Exactly.
And that way we can, just make sure that we're not putting the same thing in, all the time. We can change it around to wherever we want to go to.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, there are lots of beetroots and we do the marigolds, so we've got lots of flowers around as well. We've got the Thai basil, which actually brings in all the bees. The bees absolutely love the Thai basil. And then we let things go to seed, like you can see up here. So all of the bees come to that as well. There's even a native bee nest just outside the fence that we saw the other day.
Oh, the rooster's just wanting to join the conversation.
Yeah, so that's our little shed up there. That's where we have morning tea after we're finished. Got lots of leeks in here. And garlic, the
society garlic.
Society garlic, that's the one. Yeah.
Is that a couple of humans I see working away in the background?
There. Hi, he's waving to you. So I'll just take you into the shed just in here.
Yeah, show us around the shed.
This is where we have morning tea. You'll see some of the produce that we've got here. And up on the board there, we put up the jobs that need to be done for the day. So people just come in and go,
so what has to be done? What has to be done today? Run us through the list.
Okay, so bed 5 weeding, bed 10 we're planting zucchinis, 13 we're doing radish and lettuce today, 16 we're removing some of the old lettuce, putting in some parsley and kohlrabi, weeding and planting. It's lots and lots of weeding all the time. But this is our produce for today so far. I'll just take you along there.
Look at that. It looks like the Coombabah sort of agricultural show.
Markets. Yeah.
They're going to have to come and look at all the tomatoes.
Today's picking.
That's today's picking.
Yeah.
So
this we have tea and coffee here. And then we all just sit around here and have tea and coffee after we finish. And, then it becomes a social thing. We all sit around and chat. So people get to know each other quite well.
Wow.
I'll just take you just slowly down to the back here.
How's that, Naomi?
It's amazing, Costa.
Our greenhouse, which we took the sides off because the things weren't growing very well, and it gets more sun in there now, so it's a lot better. We've got the shed here where we've got all of our tools, so nobody even needs to bring any tools. Everything's here.
I had a question here.
Yep.
Joan, someone said, does the school engage with you at all?
Yes, they do, but they have their own Stephanie Alexander garden that the kids do.
Yeah.
Right next to us. So we help them out if they want it, but they tend to do their own thing with the Stephanie Alexander garden for the kids. There's our little compost bins. And these pumpkins have just popped up by themselves. We've got about 4 of them on there at the moment.
Pumpkins are amazing how they do that.
Yeah. And over here we've got just the soil that we use and manure and compost. So that's the whole area.
Wow.
Say hi, Katrina.
It's an incredible garden, Joan.
Yeah, it's really good. We like it.
Just beautiful.
Awesome. We just transplanted our lemon myrtle into a bigger pot.
Oh, that'll go gangbusters with a new pot.
There's all our mulch.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do here, Costa, is trying to grow more things that grow better in this area. Because there's lots of things like spinach and, all of those things that come from England that don't do well in the heat. So we're finding a lot of like Okinawa spinach and, all the different ones like that that we're trying to plant. We're doing things like cranberry, hibiscus, different things that are just love this area, and you can use them for salads and things, and you don't have to worry about them wilting in the summer. You can see the bees.
And that's a nice that's a nice part of the process.
Yeah. These things around here, I got the idea from Gardening Australia, where you put the comfrey in the pipe and then you get the juice out of the bottom and then you put it on the garden.
Have
you seen that before?
I did that story with Nev Sweeney from Permaculture Sydney West.
Yeah.
For anyone that hasn't heard of Nev before, look up Under the Choco Tree.
Yeah.
He is an amazing community powerhouse, and he's recently released a fantastic book on how to run a committee with lots of ideas, and it's fantastic. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the chat here during the day.
So we've got a couple of pineapples there and sweet potato just in a big bag there, trying to see if that works. And some potatoes in bags along here.
Oh, that's fabulous, Sharon.
Strawberry bed. We're getting heaps of strawberries this year. We're using a lot of coffee grounds.
Oh, yeah.
And they seem to love that. So that's our gardens.
Have you got pomegranates? Lucas asked.
No pomegranates. We don't have a lot of space for trees.
Oh, yeah.
The fig tree's up against the fence, and that'll be just kept against the fence. Anything that spreads out too much, we try to just keep it flat.
Yeah, Sphalia.
Except for that one lime tree. It's a beauty. Yeah. So that's the gardens. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, Joan, I just wanted to ask you. You guys use some of CGA's resources to help you with the garden. Yeah. What's some of our resources? Can you maybe tell everyone a bit about what you found on our website and how it was useful to you guys?
Yeah. I'll just turn the camera around again.
Yep.
If I can.
And I do apologise for the noisy rooster in my garden here. I thought when you asked before, Costa, I thought you said curlew. And I'm like, no, there's no curlews here this morning. But we do have a very noisy rooster. Oh, have we lost Joan?
No, I think she's still there. Oh, maybe. Or does it look like she's locked up? Maybe.
Yeah, it might look like she's. Oh no. What's happened with Joan?
Oh, yeah, Joan. The other, we've got a question here. Are the beds wicking beds or just normal beds? This is a good one from Sharon. We've been trying to get a community garden here. Hopefully the website can help. Well, Sharon, I think the website can help because it'll give you connection with people like Naomi and others that can help you ponder and get through the challenges and present a compelling case if you have to present it to someone. So good on you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it looks like we've lost Joan, have we?
All right. Well, yep, she's gone. So
Yep.
It looks to me like, now what do you want to do next, Naomi? Do you want to go to our it appears to me I can hear movement in the green room. I can hear. Oh, hang on. Jones, will we say bye to Joan? We should say bye to Joan.
Oh, she come back, has she? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's say.
I don't know what happened.
Look, you are so over the text, Joan. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Just to let you know, we use the info sheets for giving talks to our members. Find them very, very, very helpful. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got some really fantastic information sheets on the online.
Yeah, they're excellent, aren't they?
Yeah. So another Russ and Fiona wonder. They've just redone them all recently for us, so they're all up to date and lots of really useful information there.
Yeah,
that's great.
Thank you so much, whoever created the website. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, she's done a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Thanks for the comments, Joan.
Joan, a
lovely
final.
to have a look around your garden this morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to show you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joan. There was one final question. Yep. Are the garden beds wicking beds or are they just normal garden beds?
No, they're just normal beds. We have our own irrigation. So it just comes on every night. We don't have to worry about watering, which is fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, Joan, thank you for taking the time to walk us around your wonderful Coombabah garden. Everyone's loved it. If you get a chance, have a look at some of the chat that's gone on. I've been putting them up as you wandered us around, but it's been fantastic. Say hello to everyone from us.
I will. Thanks, Costa. Thanks, Naomi.
Okay, then. Thanks, Joan.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, Costa, I've got Katie here with me because we've zipped back over the other side of the country again, back up to Darwin, and Katie's here. We're at our community garden in Grey in Palmerston. So I'm going to hand you over to Katie now, and she can take you for a wander around. I just wanted to say one of the reasons we've chosen all these gardens to visit today are gardens that have actually used some of our resources before. And our garden here at Harvest Corner wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the resources that I found nearly 10 years ago on CGA's website. So they're absolutely instrumental in helping us to start this garden initially. And that was before I was on the committee or even thinking about being president. I was just getting involved in my little community garden. But we found all of these fabulous resources, all the info sheets that Joan just mentioned, and they were absolutely instrumental in helping us get this going. So I'll pass you on to Katie, and she can take you for a wander around the garden.
Excellent, and then we'll go over to WA.
Yep.
Okay, no worries. Hello, Katie.
Good morning, Costa.
Lovely to have you part of the tour with us. I'm just going to put up your community. So you're called Harvest Corner.
Yes, that's right.
And there it is. For anyone that wants to have a look, Harvest Corner is there's a website. They're also on Facebook and Instagram. So it's actually a really good thing. Everyone to keep an eye on the Facebook and Instagram pages of different community gardens to see what's growing in different parts of the country at different times. But Katie, take us out on the road and show us around.
Yeah.
As a little background, when did the garden begin?
The garden began. One sec. Oh, got a phone cover getting in the way.
Hang on.
High tech.
Why won't it let me switch to the back camera, Costa? It did before.
Oh,
Back done.
I'll just go to a few comments during the break. Harvest Corner, Gavin Dobson says it's amazing. Hello from Gloucester in New South Wales Community Garden. Good on you, Terry. See you later, Spencer, and the Save the Sunrise Glossies. No worries. Thanks for joining us. What did they use on the ground between the garden beds over at Jones? I think it was mulch. I think it was arborist mulch from what I could see. And Megan Gray has a gorgeous community garden behind the library in Bunbury. I used to do our playgroup there. I'll have to check that one out when I come to Bunbury. All right, it looks like Naomi and Katie have frozen. So maybe what I might do while they come back, I wonder if we might go down to Darlington Community Garden and catch up with Louise and Trish. So just as a little background, Darlington's in the hills above Perth, and they've just had a big launch of new amenities, I've been told. So let's bring Louise and Trish on. Here we go. Good morning, Louise.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you. And we've got so Trish is here as well. Hello, Trish.
Hi, Costa.
Hey.
Hi, Louise. Good morning.
Good morning.
So give everyone a little bit of a background on the Darlington Community Garden, when it began and where you're up to.
Trish, I'll let you do
Sure.
the background.
Okay, sure. So 3 years ago, we are looking at our skate park area and looking to develop that. And we had some plans drawn up for the whole area, and the landscape architect suggested to us that we might want a community garden. So that was the first time the idea was floated, and we put it on the local Facebook group. Would anyone be interested in a community garden? And about 12 hours later, we had 150 members, and
Wow.
it was going off. So we thought, oh, we better get this into gear. So that was 3 years ago, but it was part of a larger project. So we've built a huge arbor, which Louise might be able to show, as the spine of our garden. And then we've got the north side and the south side. So we're quite in our infancy, but we do have around on our Facebook group now is about 500 members. It's going to be an open plan, free range garden with this massive great arbor down the middle. So that's where the idea came from. And we do have some neighbouring communities like Glen Forest who have a very well established community garden. So we've always been looking over the fence, seeing what they're doing and trying to stay on top. So if you see our arbor in the photo there, Louise's dog, we've just done some earthworks to the area. So the arbor is, 20 or 30 metres long. I think it's 6 metres wide and 3 metres high. It's actually made from recycled steel, drilling rods. So one of our values is sustainability, and we're trying to use recycled materials where possible. And Louise is just showing you through there. We've got some rocks that have been salvaged from a local area. And we've literally just planted. We had a launch on the weekend, and we've just planted our first tree. So the whole area either side of the arbour has been ripped because it was an old pony site. It was a clay area. We've had it ripped, and it's been mixed with yellow sand, some gypsum, and some old mulch, just to get us started, so that we've actually got a reasonable foundation and to try and help with some of our drainage problems. But you can see that just what we're looking at now is the pump track and the skate park, which over the 3 years we've actually built. And this is a really unique project because this has been an entirely community built, designed, the vision, the design, and the build has actually been community build. So it was the skate park first, the pump track second, now the arbour, and now the community garden can get cracking. Louise, do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, just that it's just been an amazing effort. We've got the legs of the arbour here. They're made from drill pipe. And we've used materials. We're trying to continue the theme of the railway. We've got a heritage railway site nearby, over there in the distance. So we're continuing the heritage scheme. And just to emphasise what Trish said about sustainability and recycling, all these rocks were salvaged from a bridge in the village that the Shire was re-engineering. So one of our earthworks guys, off his own bat, went and reclaimed all these stones. And these are what we're planning to use around our garden. So it's all about recycling and sustainability. And we're planning to have a recycling station as part of our garden. We've got a lady who recycles tops of bottles, like milk cartons, etc. So people bring these down at every meeting, and those are going to be melted down by a local guy to make a bench. So we're going to have a recycled bottle top bench in our garden, which is fantastic. So the garden, as you can see, is just in its infancy. But we're very excited about building some beds. And Costa, would like to get your advice about what to grow up the arbour. Because it's metal, we just don't want any plants to burn on it. We've got some railway sleepers here. And the plan is at the moment that we have some beds with marine wire going from the beds up to the arbour. So we can grow plants up there. And there's a plan too to be able to hire out this arbour and the community garden for weddings and birthdays. So we're planning to have long candlelit dinners, long tables stretching along the length of the arbour, surrounded by beautiful gardens. It'd be fantastic if you could sit at your table and just reach out and pluck a grape from any vines that are growing on the arbour. So one of the themes we've picked up here is Darlington used to have a big vineyard here in this valley before the oval was constructed. And we're planning, this is what the arbour's done actually, it's picked up the theme of the vineyard by having the arbour constructed as a grape trellis. So that's what this is.
Wow.
So any advice, Costa, would be gratefully received as to what to grow up this arbour.
Yeah, well, we've got a good brains trust listening in today, so let's put it out there and see what people think. I noticed one of the great repurposers, reusers, and recyclers and rethinkers that I know in the country, Andrew O'Sullivan, who some of you who are long-term viewers of Gardening Australia may know. He was a presenter on the show that brought that whole idea of repurposing and reusing to the fore. And he made an interesting point. He said, what you're doing is reusing, and that reuse to create that form is simply spectacular because, compared to recycling, I suppose it's cycling those old products around, but it's actually reusing them. And I like that point, because you're saving so much energy and you're using something that is capable of transforming its former use into a new one. And it's a massive scale. Like that's the makings of a botanic garden structure.
Yes. Yes.
It really is.
We're just so excited about this garden, and what's really awesome is the fact that the whole community is involved, whether it's sourcing stone, doing engineering works. We've got different teams on the committee. So we've got a horticultural team that's advising us on what to plant and how to construct the beds. So yeah, any advice about garden bed construction, we'd love to hear.
Fantastic. Well, look, I mean, everyone that's on here has seen it now, and all the replay viewers. So to all the replay viewers, you'll be able to contribute additional comments, and already some comments are coming in. So it will be a wonderful one to watch. And I'll, if you can send me some photos, I'll put a post up. And yeah, I think it's nice to put these ideas out already. You know, Paulie said, you know, growing native climbers to attract the beneficial insects to work hard in your veggie plots is a nice idea, compared to trying to grow something that might struggle on that structure, whereas a native climber will probably be able to handle the heat. Peyton said, have you considered wrapping the arbor posts in rope so the plants don't burn, and gives them something to grip onto? So there's lots of little ideas coming out already, and that's just two people in 20 seconds, you know. So I think if we put it out there as a proper post, I'm sure we can get lots of people contributing ideas. And you know, like yours is on a massive scale. These are things that people can build out of and repurpose materials on a small scale. Like you saw what Joan had just with the conduit as a structure, and that wasn't for an arbor. That was actually just for protection from pests. So yeah, wow, people are loving it. People are absolutely loving it. And is there just from a governance point of view, how do you operate? Is it a committee? Is it connected? Who are the representatives on the committee? Where are you drawing from?
All the representatives are community based. We held a workshop earlier in the year, and we invited the whole community along. And from that workshop, we worked out what people wanted. We had 2 designs for the garden. So we've had 2 landscape designers design different aspects of what can go on the ground and how it can be used. One of the things is people want to have a harvestable garden that we can eat produce from. There are other people who'd like to have a bush tucker garden. So we're really showcasing all the native plants which can be used and eaten in an indigenous sense from the past. And then this community garden. So the committee was established after that first workshop, and we probably had 20 plus people attend. And of those people, we invited them to sit on tables which for areas of interest to them. So one of those was admin, one of those was horticulture, one of those was design. And then we've established teams from those people who are then leading what we're doing on the committee. So when we have our committee meetings, which are very dynamic and there's a lot of conversation, and we're actually thinking we need to go to the wooden spoon because there's so much passion. So you can only speak when you hold the wooden spoon. So those people, what we're doing is we're tasking the individual teams to come up with things, and then they hold their own meetings to advise on the various aspects. So I know the design team is due to meet again soon to talk about the design and the hard landscaping. The horticulturalists are meeting to discuss what plants to plant, and hence your advice about what to grow on the arbor is so welcome. So yeah,
wow.
Very dynamic, very passionate team on the committee. and managing them all is interesting.
There's been, you'll have to have a look at some of the great comments that are coming through, but you know, having other public attractions like the skate park means the garden will be enjoyed by all.
That's right. We're
the
trying
skate
to
park means
to all ages. So
well,
we
that's
thought about
it.
having a little Pixies corner for the little kids, fairy events and goblins, so they can come along and dress up and play in the area. We've got the teenagers with the skate park, and then we've got the younger kids to dance who are now using the pump track. I'm just going to pan around so you can see the pump track. So we've had grants to help us set up all this hard infrastructure. And so the next thing is the planting, which is incredibly exciting.
Wow, Beth Brewster said the skate park means that young ones will see the benefits and possibly lend a hand in the future because they're going to be there anyway. And I think that's really good because then the skate park doesn't become this generational great wall of like, yeah, let's put the skate park in the back blocks, you know, hidden away somewhere, and then wonder why people are scared of those places, why older people get scared of those places. Putting it all in means that everyone's there all the time, so it's safe. There's no fear involved.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. This is for the whole community, and it's about melding the whole community so we have something for everybody.
Wow. Well, look,
Absolutely.
thank you both so much. Let me bring you all back up. You know, it's wonderful. Thank you for so Trish and Louise, thanks for getting up early and giving us a chance to have a look around your garden and to be part of this launch of the new Community Gardens website. You know, you can be a wonderful part of the web of the network because the scale with which you're bringing everyone in and managing the expectations, that's a true community project. It's not saying we're doing it this way and that's the highway, and that doesn't mean it makes it easier, but easy is only relative to what you perceive. And you know, the wooden spoon idea is fantastic. You know, these are fun things that make communication all the more relevant across generations, and it's not this imposition of, well, we're the generation with the power and the control and you just do what we want sort of thing. So and at that scale, like, it's amazing what you can tap into when you have people, you know, one local person has a machine, they can clear the area in 10 minutes. You know, someone knows how to build an arbor like that. Like, that's a serious construction. But I think the interesting thing was that you got the design input and you weren't afraid to design, because that means that you take the whole project to the next level by having that design foundation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Costa, that arbor was actually part of the bigger plan. It was funded by a federal grant, and it actually becomes the property of the Shire of Mundaring, but we are the custodians of that area, and we have a lease which includes the arbor. So we're now an incorporated group, and we won't take care of it structurally, but hopefully there won't need to be a lot done for a while, but we will take care of the, you know, what grows on it and what goes around it. We've also bought a heritage goods van, like a railway wagon, and we'll be bringing that to site shortly, and that's going to be our tool shed and our hub that we operate from. And also through the arbor is actually going to be part of the local heritage group doing a walk around the village that they've proposed. So we've got all these different inputs from heritage. We've had Noel Nanup, our local Indigenous elder, come up for the launch and explain to us the local totem for the area, which was a goanna. We're planning to build a main garden bed in the shape of a goanna. Just as a little bit of input and a little bit of recognition to our Indigenous owners of the land. And we're working with many groups, the Shire, the Department of Communities, who have given us a grant to get started with the garden beds, our local Bendigo Bank, who have been fantastic, Bunnings, all these different stakeholders that really come together. I mean, we've only got one tree in the ground yet, but I always use the analogy, it's like bamboo, that it's in the ground for 9 months and then it springs up and comes to life in a hurry. So we're pretty much sure that that's what's going to happen now. We're going to see some blossoming of the garden now that we've actually got access to the site and we've set up all those and made those connections with the various people and departments to keep us connected.
And that's what community gardening is all about, guys. It's really amazing to hear your story, the startup journey of Darlington. Pretty fabulous, isn't it, Costa? That's how it rolls. Everyone coming together and enjoying that journey and being a part of that process together. It's really, really fabulous. I wish you guys all the very best. Looking forward to seeing it grow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it grow too, and that's the next phase.
Yeah. We'd like to keep getting updates so we can pop it in our newsletters and let people know how you're going.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
For sure.
Well, Louise and Trish, thank you both for jumping up early and getting out there and showing us around. It's so great to see. And now we're going to have a look around with Naomi and Katie around their garden. But to go from Jones to yours and to see a garden that's 10 years old and been built on a different model, to then see the scale of your garden, like this has been a wonderful odyssey today, because you've just given us such an aperture blowout. It's just like gone from this traditional idea of the community garden that Joan has to then this one that you're doing on a different scale, but the foundations and the model, as Naomi said, it is the same, and you're growing the community in the process. So thank you very much for being a part of it, and I'm sure we're going to get you on another odyssey and come for another tour in the months and years ahead.
Thank you, guys.
All right, then. See you later.
Guys.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
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 Wow,
So,
Naomi,
we're finally
what a garden.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
And so nice to see it just as a building site with these structures climbing out, and to hear about that process, that they've had landscape architects, they've got the community, the council, they've got the skate, like that whole, you can feel the community involvement there. Yeah,
you really can, can't you? It's quite spectacular. It's I'm very much looking forward to watching their journey through the years, because that's really powerful. They've obviously got a fabulous community in and around them that's supporting the growth of that garden. So I think they're just going to go from strength to strength, aren't they?
Oh, you can see it. I mean, that structure alone, and it's not about having to build a structure like that, because that's not what community gardens like. It's not about going in on that scale, but I think it's also nice to see that you can get that sort of scale with the same community, the local small community thinking, because the resources are there. All of those people are living there, whether it's the person that built the footings and designed the detail to sit the steel on, and the person that got the steel, and the other person with the machine. Like, they're just your next door neighbor, and you ask them and they go, well, yeah, I'll give you a hand. And suddenly you get this result, which, to do that as a commercial project, you'd be talking tens and thousands of dollars, like to build that arbor. Like that's where do you get those materials? Then the labor, then the design and the construction. Like, it's wonderful to see. Absolutely wonderful.
Is. Yeah, it's incredible.
So
should we take you for a wander around?
Yeah, because we're close on our
got some really insane electromagnetic field stuff going on, so she's able to shut down a phone with a single handhold. So
Oh,
hopefully, when I hand you back to her now, it doesn't happen again.
I'm rubbing it off, flicking it off.
all right, let's go.
Okay.
Katie,
Hello
you're
again.
back.
Yes, yes. Okay, how do I turn around?
Yep. We'll switch the camera around here. It should switch. Oh, she done it again to us.
Oh gosh.
There you go, Costa.
No, you're all right.
I think
So Meg said, I love wisteria. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful. I agree. Looks like they got oh no, she's still with us. Annie Kaysen, it's been great to share. So we've got a little bit of I'll just come back in here, and they seem to, each time they've gone to change the camera, it seems to have created a little bit of a problem. But while we're there, you'll see, oh, hang on, here's Katie. So Katie's coming in. Let's,
Okay.
Here we go.
And oh my gosh, I have lots of camera options on mine. Camera 2, facing back.
any one of them. You've got.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Hello.
There was a photo bomber there.
Yeah. Yes. We've got the kids here. So I'll come over to the back corner about that. That's what used to be our plots over there. So you can see that's not quite garden anymore. We've got a fabulous community centre going in, which will be a real hub in our community, which we're looking forward to. Well, just one sec. Magenta, you need to be on the other side of the camera. We're getting tech savvy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been given this lovely new space out this side to redevelop and reshape our garden. So we're in the planning stage, and they've put a nice new fence around for us, so we know where our boundary is now, and we need to get planning before the wet season sets in. So a massive thanks to Palmerston Council for helping us get our dream up and happening for the second time round. It's very exciting. We've learnt so many lessons over the last 10 years. Yeah, Cobalt was a baby in arms when I was first here with everyone, and then we got busy, as mothers do with young babies and families do, and we've drifted in and out over the years, and now the kids are older, they enjoy being down here, so we're stepping up and spending more time here and helping with the redevelopment. So we've got a lot of established trees. Some of the bigger trees that we put in initially to help create a bit of shade, they are huge now, and they've done their job, and the fruit trees have grown up. So some of the larger trees are ready to be actually chopped down, turned into firewood, and mulched and reused on site.
Just show Costa the pile of rocks there. Do you recall this, Costa? It might just look like a pile of rocks.
I recall that. I've just rejoined the image. Yes, I recall that very well. When I visited, it must have been about 2000 and when would it have been?
15 maybe?
15, I'm thinking. 15, 14, something like that. And as part of it, I helped construct I remember it clearly, and I remember a couple of those rocks, leveraging them into position.
Yep.
It's great to see that it's become a place on the map. It's been fenced off as a historical item.
historical herb spiral that the gardeners were with the reconstruction were like, you can do whatever you need, but do not touch the herb spiral. Costa helped us build it. So we can't get into it at the moment to keep the weeds out, and the herbs have unfortunately died, but we'll resurrect it.
This is tragic. Put me on to the governor, and we'll get to the bottom of that. So Naomi, that area that you've been gifted over the other side, that's quite a big space.
It's huge, Costa. Yeah, it's actually probably given us another third of the land that we had before. So we got a huge amount of funding from the local council to sort of say sorry for having to take out our garden, and here we'll give you some money to help you rebuild the new section. So we've got this wonderful blank canvas now to play with, and we're going to put in a community composting bays up against the fence so people can come past and throw their compost over the fence into the bays, and we're going to reconstruct another chicken shed. So come down here and see these guys. Right there. What have we got? Oh, we got a lizard here. Yeah, we've got a heap of lizards in the garden. Just chilling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at him. I was looking at the little skinnies over there. Yep. He was just chilling right there. Can you see him there, Costa?
Yeah. Yeah, I did see him. Or we did see him briefly.
He's up the tree now. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Some of our other garden members, Costa, are all down here doing a bit of a working bee this morning.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So how long has it been going?
Sorry?
How long has it been going now?
We've been here nearly 10 years. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit of upheaval for us, having to, it's been a bit tricky with all the construction fencing around, and, the water supply has been on and off, and they had to pull down our old fence, and that damaged some of our trees and all the rest of it. But, we all made a decision. We were happy to sort of roll with the punches while they built this new fantastic community centre, and that it'd be a great thing to be a part of, and that we would really enjoy rebuilding our gardens. So, the kids are in here building new paths and stuff at the moment, and we've got a lot of work to do, but it's still a wonderful space, and we all enjoy being here. So we're going to incorporate some great new features into it for the kids, with some play areas and musical play equipment and so on, and get our chickens back. They've been taken off for respite, so they're away from the construction workers. So we'll bring them
apart from the rooster, the elusive rooster. Yes. He's part of the furniture here and cannot be moved. You try to get close to him, and he ends up in the tallest tree, so he stays.
Yeah, there's no adjustment for that rooster. This is my home. But looking at this, so bearing in mind that all of us have been watching, on our screens today, but when you look at the situation with your garden and you look at the situation with Darlington, what strikes me the most is that having the community garden near the community centre, near the skate park, near the hubs, if we want to build a culture of and build a food system that is equitable, accessible, and an educational pathway, well, it has to be in the places where the community is, not fenced off in the back blocks of somewhere where there was a block that was gifted by the council or something like this. So I look at your garden there and I look at Darlington and I say, well, you're both doing exactly the same thing. You're building real resource bases right in the heart of where particularly the next generation is hanging out.
Yeah, so true, Costa, so true. And we've actually been talking to our local scouts group as well, that they're probably the only scout group in Australia that doesn't have their own scout hall. And we've been in discussions with them, and we're looking to get some funding to actually build a scout hall here, just right next to us, and using a part of our land here as well, so that it'll be even more of a combined community resource with scout halls and the community centre and the community garden, and we've got the school next door and the Red Cross across the road. And yeah, it's we're hoping it'll be a real hub of community space in years to come. So
this is
very exciting.
It is exciting, and I mean, you've still got your structure there for your sort of shade house.
Shade house, yeah. That's sort of, we've just started untying a few bits of it, because we'll probably have to halve the size of this while we move things around with the new garden. We'll probably use the other half of it as our part of our new chook shed. So yeah, it's all happening. We'll reuse what we've got here and create things a little bit differently, but it's all happening. And they've managed to keep our cocoa tree as well in this construction phase.
And that's where the rooster lives.
Yep.
Well
wanted
hidden.
Our cocoa tree and our herb spiral made by Costa. As long as they kept that for us, we were happy.
And the bananas, a massive bunch of, banana circle, banana clump is outside the fence, and we're hoping it'd be great if the council decided to keep it. People love bananas, and it's such a productive patch. It'd be amazing. For people don't be able to get fruit on the outside and the inside, and even on the outside, we're in discussions about what edible things can go outside, so people have that option of harvesting from the open parks on the outside of the fence as well.
Yeah. So someone just asked, where are we? We're in Palmerston, which is just outside of Darwin, and this is it was originally called the Palmerston Community Garden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just take you up through the middle. We'll walk along the children's garden path. They've made this new path through the bed only yesterday. That started being developed, so we can. Because the construction cut off our other path, so the kids enjoyed a bit of work there.
Bit of engineering.
Yes, and they've been very, as we've cut palms down and a lot of trees that the birds kindly have deposited over the years. And as we've chopped them down, the kids have had an absolute ball reshaping paths. So there's lots of garden edging made from all the tree stumps and the branches.
And then getting right into it.
Oh yeah, look at this. And then are you just going to put sort of arborist mulch on that, like wood chip or?
Yeah, we've got one of the local tree fellas. He comes in and dumps about 10 metres of mulch anytime that we need it. So we're going to call him in shortly. It's just been quite difficult just recently with all the construction. So the garden has been let go a little bit, but now that we've got our new fence up and not temp fencing, and we can get our access back a lot more easily, and the water seems to be on most of the time, which helps.
Yes.
So we'll look at starting to get that mulch in and topping everything up again before this wet season kicks in too intensely. So all the rest of our stuff's in storage up at the local council offices, waiting for the go ahead when we can sort of get back in here full time and really get stuck back into things. So yeah, we'll get our barbecue back and build a pizza oven and away we go.
Yeah, the kids are paying like doing this.
Yeah,
someone
go on.
Hey,
Helen said just a herb garden along the outside of the fence. The idea has been very popular with the community at Glover's Community Garden in Sydney, Sydney's oldest community garden.
Yeah, yep. Hello. These are our path builders, Costa.
Oh, hello everyone.
Creating the new paths in the garden.
You're doing a great job. I can't wait to walk along those paths when I come to Darwin.
Yeah. Have to get you out here for some pizzas with us.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, count me in. Count me
What-
in. I'll jump in the Costavator, and I'll land there on. I'll land on top of the herb spiral. That'll be my my bearing marker as I fly over the top.
That sounds
Awesome.
perfect.
And we
Sounds
might
perfect.
we'll get our smoothie bike back up and happening. That's where they always get to. So our smoothie bike needs a bit of TLC, and yeah, we'll tender loving care, and that's always the first spot the boys, all the kids end up actually to burn off a bit of energy. So smoothie bikes are great for community gardens and people with lots of energy.
That's a good point. And it you know, when you blend a whole lot of things into a juice, it's a way of getting access to those ingredients, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. They certainly keeps the kids going when we've got them on the bike and the smoothie jug whizzing away on the front end of it. So it's always good to happen. So yeah. So that's our little garden in an awesome state of reconstruction.
And
That's the way to put it.
It's nice for people to see that.
Yeah. It's funny. I was looking at some photos of it the other day from when we very first started building the beds and stuff here, and then I was looking at some more photos from a few years later when it was all built up everywhere, and then I look at it now and it's like, wow, this garden's gone through a few changes over the years, but that's wonderful. That's part of the experience, I think, isn't it, with community gardens, that it chops and changes over time, and you roll with the needs of the community. Our community here needed a much more up-to-date and purpose-built community centre. So yeah, that's going ahead, which is wonderful. It's much more suitable for all the groups that need to use it, and we've given up some of our land and been given a whole lot more. So yeah, we're very much looking forward to building the new part of it. So yeah, it's been wonderful to take you around.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Katie, for being there and being part of that tour, and you know, big congratulations for getting the website and for this moment to officially sort of put it out there to everyone, and to see the responses of just the people on this on the live part of the broadcast, and hopefully people can share this and get it out to more community gardeners so that they do know about it, because there were a few people that didn't even know about the website and the resources that it has. And there's so many layers to community gardening that there's no one size fits all, which I think is really critical for people to understand. And there's different governances. There's, depending on who you're communicating and collaborating with. And I know there was a comment much earlier, and I didn't bring it up back then because it's a big one in the community garden world at the moment. But I know that the Collingwood Children's Farm is going through a
massive upheaval.
Yeah, and it's a difficult one, because they're managed by a government instrumentality who have said that the original community garden, which was the way it is being built in a very organic way, doesn't sort of meet the standards now, and so they've had to close it, which has created so much uncertainty and angst and anger, and it's a work in progress at the moment. And for anyone that hasn't heard about it, you know, you can follow it through the Collingwood Children's Farm community, and it's just an example that there's a lot of layers involved in these things, and it's an important part of not just the transparency, but the communication capacity to be able to sit at a table and and agree to disagree, agree to agree, and agree to think about it, all of those things. And it's kind of what life is about. And I think politically, you know, we're sort of in interesting terrain at the moment, because politically everything is it's my way or the highway. Whereas at the community garden level, it's what politics should be about, which is not one camp or another. It's about everyone being there,
everyone together,
everyone being independent, and that this old party model is the way that, you know, oh, well, we're doing it this way and you're either with us or against us. It's become so divisive. The last 10 years has become very divisive. And I think what I like about the Community Garden Network is that if you're going to do something community, you have to put on a different cap and communicate, full stop. You know, and it takes time, you know, like it doesn't happen overnight. And you saw with Darlington, like they're really exercising a healthy approach to it, because they're not trying to do it overnight. They're not trying to build it in 10 minutes, but they're building more connections with more people, which, if that's the end game, then you'll get anything you want.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's where that real strength and power in community lies, isn't it? It's everyone getting an opportunity to share their part and be respected and appreciated, and the amazing things that you can build out of that when everybody does have that opportunity. It really is quite incredible, to say the very least. So now
I know we've gone a bit longer today, but there was no way I could sort of just chop the Darlington tour and Jones tour, because that's really what this is about. It's a chance, and particularly with a lot of people in lockdown, I thought, you know, it's nice to be able to travel when people can't travel around. And ultimately, the topic was the launch of the website and all the work that's been done and all of the coordination that you've been overseeing, and the fact that I've got the ticker there that people can join the Community Garden Network.
Yep. Well, we've got a fabulous prize to win this month too, Costa, as you're well aware. So one lucky community garden that joins up with us this month will win a Costa station. This is a new word. We're expecting it to go into the latest Macquarie dictionary when it comes out. You get a half an hour Costa station with our fabulous, wonderful Costa for that new member that joins Community Gardens Australia. You get to take him on a tour of your garden, and you can have a great Costa station with Costa, have a chat to him, ask for some advice, let the kids have a chat. And so if you jump online and join up this month, you'll be in with a chance to win that Costa station. So get in there, people. I do love that word. I think it's wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, well, look, you know, anything to get it out there. I think it's fantastic. Shell Lancaster just said, thanks to the website, I found one not far from me. And
fabulous.
That's really what it's about, you know. And you know, for Paulie, in that sense, that, you know, their community garden's in its infancy, and this is invaluable. The website is invaluable to you, Paulie, and to Shell, and to everyone else that's been on here today. What a treat to be able to celebrate the Community Gardens Australia, and well done for how you're leading it into its next chapter, Naomi.
Yeah, no, we're going from strength to strength, Costa. So, we're looking forward to seeing where the journey will take us. But for everyone out there, you know, we are here to support and advocate for community gardens around the country. We are here to provide resources. We're just a volunteer-led organisation, so but we have some wonderful volunteers working very hard for us. So we're constantly trying to develop new resources, and we'd like to, in post-COVID times, start to work on having some national and state and regional gatherings on a regular basis, so that all of your wonderful community gardeners out there can share with each other and go and check out what everyone's up to, and basically just connect with each other. That's one of our big roles. So you can jump on our Facebook page, jump on our website, join up as a member, check out our resources online, find your nearest community garden on our website with the directory. We're here for you guys. So yeah, get in and get community gardening, people. It's good for you, for all aspects of your life.
Well, Gnomes, thank you for a wonderful tour today, for getting everyone teed up, and to everyone for joining us. Thanks for being a part of it. Share the broadcast out there so that more people can get hold of the links, and most of all the website information, and be able to grow these ideas and learn from others' challenges, and not mistakes, but other people's pathway into
experiences
and experiences. Exactly. So
yeah.
So yeah, well, have a great Sunday. It's a beautiful day here in Sydney. It looks like a cracker up there in Darwin.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the humid side, but that's okay. We have sprinklers and swimming pools scattered around the neighbourhood, so I think they're going to get a lot of use today. It's getting quite impressive. But thank you, Costa, for hosting another fabulous Garden Odyssey for us. We really appreciate it. It's it's lovely to have your spirit and enthusiasm involved with us.
Yep, I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I can safely return everyone to their homes. There's parachute under your seat. Just jump out of the plane now as I fly back from Darwin. Have a great day, everyone. Naomi, keep up the awesome work, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, Costa. Talk soon.
See ya.
Bye.